Kanye West. The rapper, producer, fashion designer, and self-proclaimed genius who is somehow both everywhere and nowhere at the same time. He's the guy who turned a shattered jaw into a hit single, a pair of sneakers into a billion-dollar empire, and his Twitter account into a one-man reality show. Today we'll show you everything that's wrong with Kanye West. Sorry to interrupt, but Kanye said if you don't subscribe, he's making a Yeezy shoe that costs your entire paycheck. Thanks. The Taylor Swift Interruption. Of course, we have to start with the moment that put Kanye in the Hall of Fame for public meltdowns. The 2009 MTV VMAs, Taylor Swift, Best Female Video. She's mid-speech, basking in her big win, until Kanye storms the stage, snatches the mic, and drops the now legendary "I'ma let you finish." But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Taylor stood frozen. Beyonce looked like she wanted to teleport out of the room, and the internet was instantly divided between Team Kanye and Team Common Sense. The backlash was immediate. Boos from the audience, headlines for days, and even Obama calling Kanye a jackass. The incident birthed memes, conspiracy theories, and a decade-long feud. Yeezus, the album that thought it was God. When Yeezus dropped in 2013, Kanye didn't just release an album. He unleashed a musical tantrum on the world. Critics called it groundbreaking and innovative, while confused listeners wondered if their speakers were broken. Pitchfork handed it a near-perfect score, because of course they did, while others just heard Kanye screaming over distorted synths like a malfunctioning robot. And then there was the merge. Because what's an album rollout without controversy? Kanye decided the best way to sell Yeezus was by slapping Confederate flags on t-shirts, because nothing says artistic genius like starting unnecessary discourse. The Yeezus era was chaotic, messy, and a masterclass in Kanye's favorite pastime, making people question whether he's a visionary or just really good at trolling. Either way, the album sold millions, so maybe Kanye was the god he claimed to be. Slavery was a choice. The TMZ Interview. Of course, we have to talk about the time Kanye walked into the TMZ offices and dropped one of the most unhinged takes of his career. During a 2018 interview, he casually stated that slavery sounds like a choice.
For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Because apparently history books don't exist in Kanye's universe. The backlash was instant, brutal, and completely deserved. Even TMZ staffer Van Lathan couldn't hold back, calling Kanye out to his face for spewing nonsense on such a massive platform.
That you said for our people was a choice. Frankly, I'm disappointed, I'm appalled.
Kanye later tried to backpedal, claiming he was talking about mental slavery, but at that point, the damage was done.
Bro, I'm sorry I hurt you.
You gotta be responsible.
I'm sorry I hurt you, bro.
Bro, your voice is too big. You got.
If controversy were currency, Kanye wouldn't need Yeezys or overpriced church services to stay rich. Kanye's presidential run. In 2020, Kanye decided being a rap mogul and fashion designer wasn't enough. He wanted the White House too. What followed was less of a campaign and more of a public meltdown. His first rally was memorable for all the wrong reasons. He broke down in tears, shared personal family details that no one asked for, and made a statement about Harriet Tubman that had historians collectively facepalming. Logistically, it was a disaster. He missed deadlines, barely got on any ballots, and poured $12 million of his own money into a campaign that earned him 60,000 votes nationwide, which is probably fewer people than skipped his last album. If there was a prize for the most unorganized presidential run ever, Kanye would have won in a landslide. Kanye versus the paparazzi. Kanye's war with the paparazzi is one of the longest-running sagas in Hollywood. One moment, he's yelling, "I hate the paparazzi," like they stole his lunch. And the next, he's making them part of his art projects. In 2013, things got extra spicy when Kanye decided a photographer at LAX had just one too many questions. His response, full-on lunging at the guy and allegedly trying to snatch his camera. The result, charges, a no contest plea, and yet another Kanye headline. Honestly, the man has thrown hands at cameras more times than he's dropped album. For someone who thrives on attention, he sure has an odd way of showing it. You'd think after all these years, he'd master the art of ignoring a camera instead of trying to fight it. The Peppa Pig Feud. Just when you thought Kanye's feuds couldn't get any weirder, in 2021, he somehow ended up in a beef with Peppa Pig. Yes, the cartoon pig. After Donda got a 6.0 rating from Pitchfork, Peppa's Adventures. The album flexed on him with a 6.5. The official Peppa Pig Twitter account wasted no time roasting Kanye, posting, and later deleting, Peppa didn't need to host listening parties in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to get that 0.5. Naturally, Kanye's fans were not having it, and Peppa was suddenly in the middle of an actual stan war. A rapper versus a cartoon pig? Just another day in the simulation. Maybe Kanye should have dropped a diss track, Whoop Diddy Scoop, Oink remix. Kanye versus Sway. Kanye has given us plenty of meme-worthy moments, but nothing quite tops his 2013 interview with Sway Calloway. What started as a discussion about his struggles in the fashion industry turned into a full-blown tantrum when Sway suggested he try funding his own projects. Kanye's response? Screaming, "You ain't got the answers, Sway."
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
At full volume, like a toddler denied a Happy Meal. The internet wasted no time turning it into one of the most legendary memes of all time. A decade later, the phrase still haunts him, because if there's one thing Kanye hates more than paparazzi, it's being told he might be wrong. Turns out, Sway did have the answers after all. The Adidas Fallout. Kanye's long-running partnership with Adidas came to a dramatic end in 2022 after a series of controversial anti-Semitic comments sparked global backlash. Adidas, which had built a billion-dollar empire around Yeezy, faced mounting pressure to cut ties, and they did, severing the deal and halting production of his highly sought-after sneakers. Other brands quickly followed suit, leading to Kanye losing endorsements, business partnerships, and a significant portion of his reported net worth. His remarks also got him banned from social media platforms, further isolating him from the public sphere. Whether it was a reckless move or an intentional stand, the fallout was immediate and severe. At least now he knows what it feels like to be dropped faster than a limited edition sneaker release. The Secret Wyoming Dome. At some point, Kanye looked at regular houses and thought, nah, too basic. So in 2019, he set out to build futuristic dome-like homes in Wyoming, claiming they would revolutionize affordable housing. The inspiration? Star Wars. The reality? A half-finished construction site that looked more like a budget sci-fi set than a groundbreaking solution. Local authorities weren't exactly thrilled, citing zoning violations and ordering the domes to be torn down within weeks. Instead of launching the next architectural movement, Kanye's grand vision ended up as a pile of rubble. Maybe next time, he should start with a Lego set before trying to redesign the housing market. The Bound 2 music video. Kanye has always pushed creative boundaries, but Bound 2 proved that not all boundaries need pushing. In 2013, he dropped a music video featuring Kim Kardashian straddling him on a motorcycle, set against some of the worst green screen effects ever witnessed by mankind. The result? A surreal fever dream of awkward poses, floating landscapes, and a general disregard for physics. The internet wasted no time roasting it, and James Franco and Seth Rogen's parody somehow looked more high budget than the original. Whether Kanye was going for artistic or just didn't want to pay for a real road trip, one thing's for sure. Bound 2 is less of a music video and more of a visual prank on everyone watching. The infamous Twitter rants. If there's one thing Kanye loves more than making music, it's tweeting like no one's watching. It has always been a chaotic mess, but between 2016 and 2022, it turned into a full-blown disaster zone. In 2016, he randomly tweeted, Bill Cosby innocent, proving he has the worst timing imaginable. That same week, he also claimed to be $53 million in debt and publicly begged Mark Zuckerberg to invest $1 billion in him. Then in 2018, Kanye threw the internet into meltdown when he tweeted, "You don't have to agree with Trump, but the mob can't make me not love him. We are both dragon energy." And in 2022, after weeks of ranting about Kim Kardashian kidnapping their daughter and Pete Davidson corrupting his kids, Kanye finally went too far, tweeting an offensive swastika star of David image. When even Elon of all people decides you've crossed a line, you know it's bad. Grammys red carpet chaos. If there's one thing Kanye West loves more than music, it's making a spectacle of himself. In February 2025, he hit the Grammys red carpet for the first time in a decade, dragging his wife Bianca Censori along for the most bizarre publicity stunt of the night. She arrived in a massive black fur coat, very classy. Then, on Ye's alleged command, she dropped it, revealing a sheer dress that covered absolutely nothing. Despite rumors of being escorted out, sources confirmed that the couple left voluntarily after their brief appearance. Kanye later defended the stunt, calling it art, while critics labeled it a desperate bid for attention. The incident sparked debates about artistic expression versus public decency, with some fans expressing concern over Bianca's well-being and autonomy in the relationship. Leaking Drake's address. Because dropping diss tracks wasn't enough, Kanye took his feud with Drake to a new level in August 2021 by straight-up posting Drake's home address on Instagram. Yep, instead of bars, he hit him with Google Maps coordinates. The post was quickly deleted, but the internet never forgets. Fans were stunned. Was Kanye trying to drop an album or a pin? Drake, unfazed, responded by laughing in his car, probably because his mansion is already well known. Still, ex-users roasted Kanye for escalating the beef to borderline doxing levels. The move didn't end the feud, but it did confirm one thing. When Kanye gets mad, he's going straight for the post button, no second thoughts. Kanye's Super Bowl ads. Kanye has a history of turning Super Bowl ad space into his personal stage. In 2024, he aired a no-frills iPhone shot commercial during Super Bowl 58, humorously explaining he spent all the money for the commercial on these new teeth. This minimalist approach directed viewers to Yeezy.com, where fans eagerly snapped up his latest merchandise, reportedly raking in a whopping $19 million in sales within 24 hours. Fast forward to 2025, and Kanye's Super Bowl antics took a darker turn. During Super Bowl 59, he aired another low-budget ad, this time filmed in what appeared to be a dentist chair. The ad directed viewers to his website, which shockingly featured a $20 t-shirt emblazoned with a swastika labeled HH01, a known neo-Nazi code. The backlash was immediate and fierce, with civil rights groups and social media users condemning the offensive merchandise. The wheelchair incident. If there were an award for most unintentionally awkward concert moment, Kanye would have won it in 2014. During a Sydney show, he stopped mid-performance, demanding that everyone stand before he continued. The crowd cheered until two unlucky fans stayed seated. Kanye, never one to back down, actually paused the show to call them out. The problem? They were in wheelchairs. One fan even waved a prosthetic leg to prove they weren't just being lazy. Kanye decided to send a bodyguard to confirm, and only after getting visual confirmation did he continue the concert. Instead of apologizing, he brushed it off, saying, "Only if he's in a wheelchair, then it's fine." Definitely not his finest moment. The incident also caused widespread backlash, with many criticizing Kanye for his lack of awareness and insensitivity during the performance. The George Bush doesn't care about black people moment. Live television is a dangerous game, especially when Kanye is involved. During the 2005 Hurricane Katrina relief telethon, Ye stood next to a very unprepared Mike Myers and went completely off script, ranting about media bias before dropping the now legendary line, "George Bush doesn't care about black people."
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Mike's soul visibly left his body, Chris Tucker looked like he was reconsidering his career choices, and NBC scrambled to cut away faster than a YouTube ad skip. The backlash was instant. Some called it a necessary truth bomb, others called it reckless. Even George Bush himself later said it was the worst moment of his presidency. Yes, not September 11th, not the financial crash. Kanye West hurt his feelings. Kanye, meanwhile, had no regrets. Another day, another controversy. The Nick Fuentes Dinner. In November 2022, Kanye managed to shock even his most loyal fans by bringing white nationalist Nick Fuentes to a dinner with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Yes, the same Kanye who once thrived on controversy was now breaking bread with the most canceled man on the internet. The backlash was immediate. Politicians, the media, and even former supporters condemned the meeting. Trump, a man who rarely distances himself from controversy, quickly scrambled to clarify that he totally didn't know who Fuentes was before dinner. Kanye, on the other hand, doubled down, saying he wanted Trump as his running mate for a 2024 presidential bid. Because clearly, this dinner wasn't unhinged enough already. Kanye and Kim Kardashian. When Kanye married Kim Kardashian in 2014, it wasn't just a wedding. It was a global media event because of course it was. From renting out a stadium for his over-the-top proposal to their $2.8 million Italian wedding, Kanye treated marriage like a headline factory. But the real chaos started later. Kanye claimed Kim tried to lock him up during his 2020 presidential run and publicly aired their private fights on Instagram. He also bought a house right across from Kim's after their divorce because nothing says moving on like literally moving in next door. Kim has opened up about the emotional toll of Kanye's public meltdown, saying it was heartbreaking to watch someone she once loved become unrecognizable. She admitted his social media attacks caused her significant distress and made co-parenting even harder. Nothing screams good co-parenting like dragging your ex on Instagram for millions to see. And there you have it. Everything wrong with Kanye West, a man who has given us as much to criticize as he has to celebrate. He's an enigma wrapped in a riddle, shrouded in controversy, and somehow always one step ahead or behind, depending on how you look at it. Love him or hate him, there's no denying that Kanye is one of the most fascinating figures of our time. What do you think of Kanye West? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.